Okay, can't read. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Coming.
All right. Stand up, everybody. Stand up.
Okay, you got one not standing.
Thank you. Please be seated. This is the 5 a.m. calendar on February 22nd, 2025. On the first of the month, orders were given regarding the taking of DNA and fingerprints. Those orders remain in effect today. What that means for you in the courtroom is this: not every single one of you has to give your DNA or your fingerprints. If you have to do that, those orders are going to be on your paperwork. My name is Commissioner Beck. I'm here to do a few things for you. Number one, I'm here to let you know why you're here. Number two, if you might be released. Number three, if you're going to be assigned counsel. The vast majority of you are going to be given counsel, which leads to my number one rule. Please don't talk about the facts of your case. Everything you say or do can be used against you. Everything in this courtroom is video recorded, so please don't talk about the facts of your case unless it's with your attorney. Second thing, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of questions. Unfortunately, I'm not your attorney, so I can't answer legal questions for you. So please save your legal questions for your counsel as well. Finally, you're going to be hearing lots of different dates and different types of release conditions. You don't have to memorize all that stuff. All that information is going to be on your paperwork, but that's why it's important to keep your paperwork and not lose it. If you miss a court date or if you don't follow a court order, you could just end up back here. Here's how the morning is going to go. I'm going to call 2 names. First name I'm going to call is going to come in the courtroom, stand at the podium. Second name I'm going to call is going to sit on the chair next to the door. And then we're going to keep on cycling through until the calendar is finished. Try to please get Robin Tinsley to the podium. Tiana Coleman to the chair, please. Ma'am, could I please get your name and date of birth?
Robin Tinsley, 12/9/65.
Thank you. You're here today on 2 matters, a failure to appear warrant and a Superior Court new case. So let me talk to you about your new case. You've been arrested for possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony. I have found probable cause. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court dates are February 27th, 28th, and March 3rd in the downtown Superior Court. Ma'am, it's alleged that you committed this offense while you were out on release on your other offense, so you're going to be held non-bondable at this time. When it comes to your failure to appear warrant, I'm not assigning you a new attorney. You're going to go back to your original attorney. Your next court dates are February 27th and March 3rd in the downtown Superior Court. Affirming the bond set by your original judge is a $500 secured appearance bond. But ma'am, please don't pay that bond because you're going to be held non-bondable on your other case. Why don't please step to your left for your paperwork. Tiana Coleman to the podium. Brianna Hernandez to the chair, please. Hi, could I please get your name and date of birth?
Tiana Ray Coleman, 12/26/96.
Thank you. You're here today on 4 separate matters, 1 Superior Court new case and 3 failure to appear warrants. Let me talk to you about your new case. You've been arrested for possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. I have found probable cause. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court dates are February 27th, 28th, and then March 3rd in the downtown Superior Court. Ma'am, it's been alleged that you committed this offense while you're out on release on your other offenses, so you're going to be held non-bondable on this case. Then you have 3 failure to appear warrants. I'm not assigning you new counsel. You're going to go back to your original counsel. Your next court date on all 3 of those is going to be February 27th in the downtown Superior Court. Actually, no, 2 of those is February 27th, and on 1 of them it's February 28th. I am affirming all the bonds in those cases set by your original judge. It's $250 on one, $250 on the other, and $50 on the third. But ma'am, please don't pay those bonds because you're being held non-bondable on your new case.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
Can we hold off? March 27th seems way out of the time period that we're supposed to schedule for.
For which one?
For the 2024 ending in 8/01.
Oh, yeah. Do you want me to call it last?
Yes.
Ma'am, one of the dates is wrong on your paperwork, and so we're going to call you back, but let me answer your question that you had.
The same day I went to go see my probation officer, the same day I had court. So that's why I've been trying to get a hold of my attorney to reschedule the court date, but he hasn't been answering.
Sure thing.
Ryan McCoy. And so on the 4th is when I had court for the grand jury, 2 cases. It's the same day I had to go see my probation officer.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be for grand juries because grand juries are secret. Yeah, you did have a February 4th, your comprehensive pretrial conference date.
Yeah, that's why I have the two warrants, because I didn't appear because I had to go to probation that day.
Sure. And so here's the thing. Court beats probation every time. You should have gone to court because your probation officer is going to know that you had a court date. And so here's what's going to happen. Ma'am, if you want to go back and have a seat back in the gallery, we're going to recall your case because you have to fix one of your court dates. and then we'll have another talk, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Let's have a seat where you were sitting, okay?
Brianna Hernandez to the podium. Bonnie Milne to the chair, please. Hi, can I get your name and date of birth, please?
Yeah, Brianna Hernandez, 9/28/1997.
Thank you. You're here today on a Superior Court grand jury warrant. The grand jury has found probable cause to hold you on 9 counts of shoplifting with an artifice, Class 4 felony, and 1 count of refusal to give a true name, a Class 2 misdemeanor. I am assigning you an attorney. Your next court date is going to be February 28th in the downtown Superior Court. It's been alleged that you committed these offenses, a couple of these offenses while you're out on release for your other felonies, so you're going to be held non-bondable at this time. Want to please step to your left for paperwork?
Thank you.
Bonnie Milne to the podium. Eric Payan to the chair, please. Hi, name and date of birth, please.
1/2/92, Bonnie Milne.
Thank you. Sorry, I mispronounced your last name.
That's okay.
You are here on a Superior Court arrest warrant. Probable cause is previously found for 1 count of taking the ID of another Class 4 felony. This happened back in May of 2019. I am assigning you an attorney. Your next court dates are February 27th and March 3rd in the downtown Superior Court. Affirming the bond set by the judge is a $300 cash bond. But, ma'am, you just got sentenced to prison.
Yeah.
Your probation just got revoked, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the situation. Please don't try to pay that bond because you won't get credit for time served. So they're not going to let you out on this case until you kill your number
Yeah.
on your revocation.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
And then you can pay your bond if you can pay it to bond.
Okay.
Okay, so for now, until you finish up your prison sentence, you're going to be held kind of non-bondable until you're done.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Please step to your left. Eric Payan to the podium. Eric Hazlitt to the chair, please. Hi, name and date of birth, please.
Eric Payan, 09/29/1983.
Thank you. You're here today on an out-of-county warrant. You're going to get an attorney at your next court date. Your next court date is February 26th at the Cochise County Superior Court. And I'm affirming the request by the judge up there. You're going to be held non-bondable as a violation of your probation. And so again, your next court date is going to be February 26th at the Cochise County Superior Court. Want to please step to your left for paperwork, sir? Sure. Go ahead and step in front of the mic.
I don't know why my probation was revoked or anything.
I don't know why either. The judge up there says that your probation is revoked, so that's why he's asking you to be held non-bondable. So you'll see him on February 26th to ask him what's going on.
So does that mean I'm going to prison?
No, you're just going to be held in custody until you see him.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Eric Hazlitt to the podium. Jaquel Lewis to the chair, please. Sir, name and date of birth, please.
11/13/1989.
And your full name, please.
Eric Hazlitt.
Thank you. You are here today in a Superior Court new case. You've been arrested for 1 count of attempted armed robbery, Class 3 felony, aggravated assault, Class 3 felony, misconduct involving weapons, a Class 4 felony. If found probable cause, I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court dates are February 27th and March 3rd in the downtown Superior Court. Setting a cash bond of $75,000. If you're able to post that bond, you're going to be placed on pretrial services release, have an electronic ankle monitor, not to return to the scene of the crime, no contact with any victim or witness, not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Most importantly, if you bond out, you have to contact your parole officer within 24 hours.
Okay.
Thank you. Please step to your left for your paperwork, sir. Jaquel Lewis to the podium. Travion Bolden to the chair, please. Hi, name and date of birth, please.
Jaquel Lewis, 1/26/93.
Thank you. You're here today on 2 separate matters, a Superior Court new case and a probation violation warrant. Let me talk to you about your new case. You've been arrested for armed robbery, Class 2 felony. I have found probable cause. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court dates are February 27th and March 3rd in the downtown Superior Court. Setting a secured appearance bond of $50,000. Sir, if you're able to bond out, you're going to be on pretrial services release with an electronic ankle monitor. Furthermore, you're not to return to the scene of the crime, no contact with any victim or witness, not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Also, if you bond out, you have to contact your PO within 3 days. And then for your probation violation warrant, I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court date is going to be February 28th. Just putting a placeholder bond of $50 and same conditions of release. Most important one, you have to contact your PO within 3 days.
Okay.
Sir, please don't pay the $50 bond unless you can pay the whole bond, or else you won't get credit for time served.
Okay.
All right, please
And
submit your paperwork.
the $50,000 bond, is that,
It's not cash. You can use a bond company.
Okay, all right.
All right, thank you. Please have you left your paperwork, sir. Trevion Bolden to the podium. Andrew Douglas to the chair, please. Name and date of birth.
Trevion Bolden, March 30th, 92.
Thank you. You are here today on a Superior Court new case. You've been arrested for 2 counts of aggravated assault, Class 4 felony, 1 count of simple assault, Class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court dates are February 27th and March 3rd in downtown Superior Court. Setting a secured appearance bond of $50,000. If you're able to bond out, you're going to be placed on pretrial services release. You're going to have an electronic ankle monitor. Sir, you're not to return to the scene of the crime, no contact with the victim, not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. You have to obey every order of protection that has been put out against you. And then also, if you bond out, you may not live with the victim, even if you're the owner or renter of the property. You're allowed 1 civil standby with local law enforcement to collect any essential belongings, but you're cautioned that a violation of a no victim contact order can lead to a Class 6 felony. Want to please step you left your paperwork, sir?
I'm here, guys. Please have a seat on the left, okay?
Andrew Douglas to the podium. Miranda Jordan to the chair, please. Hi, sir. Name and date of birth.
Andrew Douglas, 8183.
Thank you. You're here today on a Superior Court new case and a probation violation warrant. Let me talk to you about your new case. You've been arrested for 2 counts of organized retail theft, Class 4 felonies, 1 count of removal of a theft detection device, Class 6 felony. Found probable cause. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court dates are February 27th and March 3rd in downtown Superior Court. Setting a secured appearance bond of $3,000. If you're able to bond out, you're going to be placed on pretrial services. Can't go back to the scene of the crime. No contact with any victim or witness. Not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Most importantly, if you bond out, you have to contact your PO within 3 days. Also, you can't enter any targets or their premises. And then for your probation violation warrant, you're getting an attorney. Your next court date on that one is February 28th. Setting a secure placeholder bond of $50. Same conditions of release. Make sure to contact your PO within 3 days if you bond out. And sir, please don't pay that $50 bond unless you can pay your total bond. Otherwise, you won't get credit for time served. Please step to your left your paperwork, sir.
Right there? Yes, and then go ahead and have a seat on the left, okay?
Miranda Jordan to the podium. Sarah McAtee to the chair, please. Hi, name and date of birth, please.
Miranda Cream Louise Jordan, August 19, 2002.
Thank you. You're here today on 3 probation violation warrants. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court date on all 3 of them is going to be February 28th in the downtown Superior Court. I'm affirming the bond set by a probation violation judge. On 2 of them, it's $700 secured. Actually, all 3 of them is $700 secured, so a total of $2,100 secured appearance bond. Ma'am, if you're able to bond out, not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Most importantly, though, if you bond out, you have to contact your probation officer within 3 days. Want to please step to your left your paperwork, ma'am.
Just have a seat where you were sitting, okay?
Sarah McAtee to the podium. Jason Elliott to the chair, please. Hi, name and date of birth, please.
Sarah McAtee, May 5th, 1993.
Thank you. You are also here on 3 probation violation warrants. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court date on all of them is going to be February 28th. I'm affirming the bond set by a probation violation judge. It's $500 on 2 of them. and $250 on the third one, so a total of $1,250 secured. Ma'am, if you're able to bond out, not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Most importantly, if you bond out, you have to contact your probation officer within 3 days.
All right.
Thank you. Please step to your left for your paperwork. Jason Elliott to the podium. Marcellus Clark to the chair, please. Name and date of birth, please.
Jason Elliott, August 24th, 1995.
Thank you. You're here today on 2 failure to appear warrants and 1 municipal court warrant. Let me talk to you about your felony warrants. I'm not assigning you a new attorney. You're going to go back to your original attorney. Your next court date on both of your failure to appears is going to be February 28th in the Downtown Superior Court. Affirming the bond set by your original judge, it's $1,000 on one of them, $250 on the other. And sir, if you're able to bond out, you're not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Most importantly, if you bond out, you have to contact your PO within 3 days. Then you also have a municipal court warrant. I'm assigning you counsel. Your next court date's March 4th. That's at the Surprise Municipal Court. Affirming the bond set by the judge out there, it's a $500 secured appearance bond. And same condition of release. If you bond out, you got to contact your PO within 3 days.
I can't get that bond lowered, the 500 one, because it's literally like a misdemeanor, no?
It is, let me see, his rationale was this has been going on since it's been open since 2019. It's been open since 2019.
The only reason I know you can't really discuss this, but like the only reason I missed is because like it's been like kind of like wrapped up with my other stuff, and like my other stuff is more important because it's felony matters.
I get it, sir, but so here, this isn't really legal advice. Anything out of the city or anything out of the justice courts, you can just show up and take care of it. And it's been 5 years, and so the judge, yeah.
So total is gonna be $1,750.
Yeah, I think so. Let me see.
But if I could put that cash up, I'm good to get out.
And it's not cash; it's secured. You can use a bond company.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Want to please step to your left?
Thank you.
Marcellus Clark to the podium. Christopher Riley to the chair, please.
Take your arms out of your shirt, please. Okay.
All right. 1 second. Reprint, please. Sir, can I please get your name and date of birth?
Marcellus Clark, 7/12/90.
Thank you. You are here today on 2 separate matters. A Superior Court new case and a Superior Court arrest warrant. Let me talk to you about your new case first. You've been arrested for possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony. I have found probable cause. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court dates are February 27th and March 3rd in the Downtown Superior Court. Setting a secured appearance bond of $1,000. And then you also have an arrest warrant for possession of probable causes already found for possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. This happened back in July 2024. So you are getting counsel, same dates, February 27th and March 3rd. On that one, I'm setting a placeholder bond, $100 secured appearance bond, so total $1,100 secured. Sir, if you're able to bond out, you're not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. If you want to wait over to your left, you're going to get new paperwork.
And if I'm not able to bond out, how long do I spend in jail?
I'm sorry, sir?
If I'm not able to bond out, how long do I spend in jail?
So, sir, your next court date is going to be February 27th. That's in 5 days. You can talk to the judge then. That's your next opportunity to try to get that bond lowered.
So I'm going upstairs?
There is no upstairs.
I'm sorry, Deputy. He has new paperwork.
Pardon me, his?
He has new paperwork. It's up here.
Go ahead and have a seat, all right.
It's just for one of them. Sorry about that. Christopher Riley to the podium. Dakota Pruitt to the chair, please.
Hi, Ron.
Hi, sir. Name and date of birth, please.
Christopher Michael Riley, June 17, 1976.
Thank you. You are here today in the Superior Court new case. You've been arrested for criminal trespass, Class 6 felony, and disobeying an order of the court, Class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court dates are February 27th and March 3rd in the Downtown Superior Court. Setting a secured appearance bond of $1,000. Sir, if you're able to bond out, you're going to be placed on pretrial services release and be fitted with an electronic ankle monitor. Furthermore, if you're able to post that bond, you're not to return to the scene of the crime, no contact whatsoever with the victim by any means, not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes,
Please,
Your Honor. All right,
please
thank
up
you
to your
so
left for
much.
paperwork.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, for, Tiana Coleman, the dates were changed for court. Do you still need to see her?
It should have been February, not March. That's
Okay.
the only change.
We changed it. Do you still need to see her again?
I do, so yeah. Thank you. And I have to handle a couple warrants, please.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. That's it.
Everybody will hear, stand up.
Marcellus, oh. He's doing a couple more, so, okay.
Hi, Detective First Rebecca disappeared from all right. You're doing okay. Did you call saying that SWAT's moving through? Okay. Are you ready to be sworn? You swear or affirm that the information contained in your affidavit is true and accurate to the best of your personal information, knowledge, or belief? Okay, I'll write that right now. All right, take care. Please, Christopher Riley to the podium. Dakota Pruitt to the chair, please. I'm sorry, Dakota Pruitt to the podium. Maria Asamakis to the chair, please. Hi, name and date of birth, please.
Dakota Pruitt, 12/18/1997.
Thank you. You're here today on a failure to appear warrant. I'm not assigning you a new attorney. You're going to go back to your original attorney. Your next court date's going to be February 27th in the Downtown Superior Court, affirming the bond set by your original judge, the $500 secured appearance bond. Sir, if you're able to bond out, not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol.
Is it possible that I can get OR? Because I did put in a motion, or my mother put in a motion. I've been homeless. My phone broke, and I wasn't able to get my attorney's name and all that stuff, and I couldn't get to it because of my email. My phone was broken, so I didn't have the phone number to get into it. Is it possible I can get OR?
So unfortunately not today. I can't second guess the judge that set this bond. And plus here's the other issue too, is that the argument that this judge is going to make is the same thing that I told everyone while they're sitting in the courtroom. That how it's important to keep your paperwork and to know your court dates.
I'm homeless.
I get it, sir, but I understand. You're not the only individual who's homeless that comes through here, and so that's why the judge set that $500 bond. So at this time, I'm going to affirm it, okay? And you'll see them on March 27th. All right.
So March 27th?
I'm sorry, February 27th, February 27th. Maria Asamakis to the podium. Sean Mankins to the chair, please.
Morning.
Hi, name and date of birth, please.
Maria Simakis, 41387.
Thank you. You're here today on 4 matters, a Superior Court new case and 3 probation violation warrants. Let me talk to you about your new case. You've been arrested for 1 count of possession of narcotic drugs, class 4 felony. I have found probable cause. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court dates are February 27th and March 3rd in the Downtown Superior Court, setting a secured appearance bond of $250. Ma'am, if you're able to bond out, not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Most importantly, if you bond out, you have to contact your probation officer within 3 days. And then for your probation violation warrants, you're also getting an attorney. Your next court date on all of those is February 28th. And I'm affirming the bonds. For all 3 of those, it's $50 each. So, let's see, 150, yeah, so $500 total secured.
Okay.
Same conditions of release on all your probation violations. So the most important one is if you bond out, you have to contact your PO within 3 days.
Okay, so I'm being held, correct?
Yes.
And if I bond out, like, my mom pay like $500, then?
Yeah, or less, because it's a secured appearance bond, so she can use a bond company.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you. Sean Mankins to the podium. Whitney White to the chair, please. Hi, name and date of birth, please.
Sean Mankins, 82705.
Thank you. You're here today on 2 probation violation warrants. I'm assigning you an attorney. Your next court date on both of them is February 28th in the Downtown Superior Court, affirming the bond set by a probation violation judge. $200 secured appearance bond for both of them, total. If you're able to bond out, you're not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Most important thing, if you bond out, you have to contact your probation officer within 3 days. Want to please step to your left for your paperwork, sir? Want to please step to your left for your paperwork? Thank you.
And in the back row, on the left.
Actually, can I please have Tiana Coleman back to the podium, please?
Back row.
Hi, recalling the matter of Tiana Coleman. Ma'am, we had to change one of the dates. I had told you March 27th before. It's actually February 27th. And so let me tell you all your dates again. For 2 of your matters, it's February 27th. On 1 of your matters, it's February 28th. And then for your new case, it is February 27th, 28th, and March 3rd. Okay, and so you're still being held non-bondable on your new case, and you had a question for me before you went over there. What was your question?
Because it was the same date as the probation.
Yeah, and so what I was explaining to you is going to court always beats out checking in with your PO, because your PO is going to know when you go to court, and so that's why the judge put the warrants out for you.
She didn't tell me.
What?
She didn't know either the grand jury.
No, they're not grand jury. Let's see here. Well, actually, they might have been. 1 sec.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why your PO never would have known.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: you were told those court dates because you show up here and you're given your initial appearance date, even if with a grand jury warrant, and so that's the one you got to go to. So at this point, I'm going to affirm the non-bondable status on your new case. The next date that you can argue, hopefully getting out of that non-bondable status, is going to be February 27th, okay?
So I'm being held till February 27th?
At least until the 27th, and you can talk to the judge about possibly changing that.
Okay, and can I, for all of the things, can I just, try to go to treatment, if possible?
Yeah, that's not up to me.
Like afterwards?
Talk to your main judge. I just do this. I just set dates and tell people their bonds. So
Okay.
your main judge is the one that can try to get you into treatment.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Whitney White to the podium. Eric Gomez to the chair, please. Hi, name and date of birth, please.
Whitney White, or Whitney Parr, 9/17/84.
Thank you. You're here today on a justice court warrant. I'm not assigning you counsel on your case because for the types of charges that you're facing, you don't get a free attorney. But if you want to hire your own attorney, you can go ahead and do that. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Your next court date is going to be March 11th. That's at the White Tank Justice Court. And upon your promise to appear, I'm going to be releasing you today.
Okay.
There's some conditions to your release, though.
Okay.
You're not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol.
Okay.
Do you understand these conditions?
Yes, sir.
And you promise to follow these conditions?
Yes.
And before I release you, is she being held on anything else?
She's in custody, but she may be, are you waiting to get released?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just waiting to
I
get
bonded out. I believe they bonded me out, and then.
on your other stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, so if you're getting ready to be released, then I will, do you promise to appear on March 11th at the White Tank Justice Court?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Upon your promise to appear, I'll be releasing you on our own recognizance.
Okay.
It'll take a few hours to get you processed out. But,
thank God.
yeah, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Because if you had a hold on another case, I would have to set a bond on this case.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm
but
not.
yeah.
I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Please step to your left for your paperwork.
Thank God.
You do have to go back to the area, though, roll it up and then call it.
Eric Gomez to the podium. Danny Simpson to the chair, please. Name and date of birth, please.
Eric Gomez, May 17, 2006.
Thank you. 1 second. Repeat, please. Sir, you are here on a Justice Court new case. You've been arrested for 1 count of aggressive driving, Class 1 misdemeanor, 1 count of reckless driving, a Class 2 misdemeanor, 1 count of excessive speed greater than 20 miles per hour, a Class 3 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause. I'm not assigning you an attorney because for these types of charges, you don't get a free attorney. So if you want one, you'll have to hire one yourself. Do you understand? I need to hear yes or no.
You need to speak.
If you want an attorney, you're going to have to hire one yourself. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Your next court date is going to be March 12th. That's at the South Mountain Justice Court. Upon your promise to appear, I'm going to be releasing you, but there's some conditions you have to follow.
Yeah.
You're not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Most importantly, you cannot drive anything. Do you understand these conditions?
Yes.
Do you promise to follow these conditions?
I promise to follow these conditions.
Do you promise to appear on March 12th at the South Mountain Justice Court?
Yes.
Upon defendant's promise to appear, I'll be releasing you on your own recognizance. Please step to your left for your paperwork.
In the background.
Danny Simpson to the podium, please. Hi, can I get your name and date of birth, please?
3164.
And your full name, please?
Danny Eldon Simpson.
Thank you. Sir, you're here, you're back again on this fugitive of justice warrant. So you did this once before. You were here before talking about this same thing. And Illinois, they didn't come and get you in time. And so that's why we're going to do this again, okay?
Oh.
Yeah, and so that's what happened. You went to your hearing, and you had the hearing, and 90 days passed, and Illinois didn't come and pick you up. So you're being arrested again on your fugitive of justice warrant, And so here's what's going to happen, though. I was looking at you had another case going on, right? You have that animal case going on downtown?
That's my sister, cat scam on me, 'cause,
Okay, so, well, sir, yeah, don't talk about the facts. It's okay. I mean, I don't need to know the details.
My sister, took me Social Security and got me on Social Security. 2 weeks later, my sister put a cat scam on me.
So, sir, so here's, I was looking at your court record.
She's my payee. She's spending, right now, she's spending all my money. She don't put no money on my book.
Sir, I understand. So here, I was looking at your court record. You're also going through special proceedings right now. It's called Rule 11 proceedings, okay? And so I'm actually not going to let you waive your right to an extradition hearing. So you're going to have another hearing on this. It's going to be March 3rd, okay?
Okay.
So March 3rd, you're going to do the same thing, and then we'll see if Illinois comes and gets you. You're going to be in on a $75,000 cash bond. You were non-bondable before, but I didn't see a legal reason to hold you non-bondable, so you're going to be in on a $75,000 cash bond on the Illinois thing, and then it looks like you're still in custody on your other thing that you got going on downtown, okay? So, sir, your next court date will be March 3rd.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir. If you wait over there, you're going to get some paperwork.
Okay.
Thank you. For the final two matters, I'll be visiting these individuals back at their cell. They pose a risk of harm to themselves or to others. First is Christina Maldonado, date of birth 3/10/1990, is here in a Superior Court new case. She's been arrested for possession of dangerous drugs. I'm sorry, I could reprint that.
Oh,
Yeah. She's been arrested for possession of dangerous drugs, a class 4 felony. I have found probable cause. I'm assigning an attorney. Her next court dates are March 27th and February 27th and March 3rd in the Downtown Superior Court. Setting a secured appearance bond of $500. If she's able to bond out, she's not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Dana Porter is here. Date of birth 9/20/75 is also here on the Superior Court new case. She's been arrested for criminal damage, a class 5 felony, and disorderly conduct, a class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause. I'm assigning her counsel. Her next court dates are February 27th and March 3rd in the Downtown Superior Court. Setting a secured appearance bond of $500. If she's able to bond out, she'll be placed on pretrial services release with an electronic ankle monitor. She's not to return to the scene of the crime. No contact with any victim or witness. Not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol. Must obey any terms or orders of protection. She may not reside with the alleged victim, even if she's the owner or renter of the property. And she's allowed one civil standby to collect any essential belongings. After I visit these individuals back at their cell, if there's to be any changes made to these release conditions, I will come back on the record to make those changes. This is the conclusion of the 5 a.m. calendar.
A little bit concerning to the state. Ms. Rubin, did you wish to be heard?
Yes, he's got no prior felony criminal history. He has ties to the community, and he indicates he's working. Again, we have no idea what anything more than the interim complaint, and he will abide by all conditions imposed. So we'd ask for release to the supervision of pretrial services.
All right, sir, I am going to release you to pretrial services supervision. You're going to need to comply with any directions they give you in terms of monitoring or treatment. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victim or their residence or workplace. No contact means absolutely no contact. Your next court date is going to be a preliminary hearing on March the 14th. 2025 at 1:30 in the afternoon. Now, sir, you need to stay in touch with pretrial and with your attorney, because if you fail to come to court on March 14th, then a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, that's all for this morning, sir. You're excused.
Black, Nicholas.
Hello, sir. Can I get your name?
Nicholas Clark.
All right, sir, we're seeing you this evening because you've been charged with a felony count of possession of a narcotic drug for sale. This is your initial appearance. Sir, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this case. Now, sir, I've read the interim complaint, the pretrial services workup, as well as the state's recommendation. Based on all of that, my inclination, counsel, is to release him to pretrial services with standard conditions. Does either side wish to be heard?
No.
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, I am going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services. You will need to comply with any monitoring or treatment directions they give you. You are not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, possess no firearms or weapons. Your next court date is going to be a preliminary hearing on March the 14th at 1:30 in the afternoon. If you fail to show for that court date, then a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, Judge.
All right, that's all for this morning, sir. You're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Black, the rest.
Hello, can I get your name?
Savannah Clark.
All right, ma'am, we're seeing you this morning for an initial appearance. You've been charged with one count of possession of a narcotic drug for sale. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the legal defender's office to represent you in this matter. Now, I've read the pretrial services workup, as well as other information presented to me. Counsel, my inclination again is to release to pretrial services. Did either side wish to be heard?
No.
No, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, I am going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services. You'll need to comply with any monitoring or treatment directions they give you. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to possess any firearms or weapons. Your next court date is going to be a preliminary hearing on March the 14th at 1:30 in the afternoon. If you fail to make that court date, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's all for this morning, ma'am. You're excused.
Thank you. Open.
Hello, can I get your name?
Patricia Kathleen Conklin.
All right, ma'am, we're seeing you this morning. Looks like you have a warrant that was issued for your arrest in a DUI case. They were felony charges, and the warrant issued back on January 27th of 2025. Just give me 1 second. I just need to review your pretrial services report. And it looks like you may also have DUI charges pending in a justice court matter, but we're just talking about your felony case today. So, ma'am, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. I have read everything presented to me, including the warrant, as well as the pretrial services report and the state's recommendation. State is asking for the $2,500 listed in the warrant. Mr. Goodman, did you wish to be heard any further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ms. Rubin?
Yes, Your Honor. She's not previously been arrested in this case, and it appears that a summons was issued. She didn't know about court. This is a 2023 case. Her misdemeanor case, which I'm not sure what the actual status of it is, since the last hearing date listed is from April 2024, but that was also 2023, and there's no prior felony criminal history and other misdemeanor DUI convictions. So we would ask that you release her this to provision of pretrial services. That appears she's working full-time and has lived here for over 20 years.
So, ma'am, I'm showing an address for you on West Calle Via. Is that still your current address?
No, I updated it with the court back in 24. I live at 11651 West Ina Road, Fitzgerald, 85743.
All right, ma'am, I am going to release you to pretrial services in this matter, but you need to make sure you make your court dates or another warrant's going to issue for your arrest. I've also included your updated address in the system. Your next court date is going to be an arraignment hearing, and that's going to be on February the 28th at 1:30 in the afternoon. You need to make sure you make that court date or a warrant will issue for your arrest. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to drive without a valid license. You will be supervised by pretrial services, and you'll need to comply with any monitoring or treatment directions they give you. You're also not to possess any firearms or weapons. Once again, make that court date on the 28th, or a warrant's going to be issued. Do you understand?
Yes, I'll be here.
All right, that's all for this morning, ma'am. You're excused.
No.
Hello, can I get your name?
Terry Michael Capel.
All right, sir, we're seeing you on a few different matters this morning. It looks like you've got some warrants that were issued in some justice court cases, and we'll talk about those in a minute. You also have been charged with some new felony offenses relating to allegations of theft of means of transportation, burglary in the third degree, and possession of burglary tools. So we'll start with that case first. Now, sir, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you in this matter. Now, I've read the pretrial services workup as well as the state's recommendation and the interim complaint. The state is asking for a $15,000 bond with pretrial services. Mr. Goodman, did you wish to be heard any further?
I would just note each one of his priors is violent in nature, and he is on probation for one of them still.
Ms. Rubin, did you wish to be heard?
We'd ask that you set a bond so he gets time credit since he's being detained without bond.
All right, sir, I am going to order you be held on the $15,000 cash or secured bond. You will be supervised by pretrial services if you post that, and you'll need to comply with any monitoring or treatment directions they give you. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, possess no firearms or weapons. Your next court date will be a preliminary hearing on March the 4th, 2025 at 1:30 in the afternoon.
I have a question about the misdemeanors.
We don't get to that.
Yeah.
Huh?
We'll talk about the misdemeanors here in one moment.
Yeah, they were dismissed.
All
I
right,
have paperwork since
sir.
they were dismissed.
Sir, let me go ahead and talk about the warrants that you have.
Okay.
So you have 3 separate cases in Pima County Justice Court. It looks like one case is from 2024 where you were charged with domestic violence, criminal damage, disorderly conduct, and assault. Both of those other charges were also listed as DV offenses. You have another case from 2023 where you were charged with criminal damage and failure to appear. And then another case also from 2023 where you were charged with disorderly conduct, criminal damage, failure to appear, and assault with injury. Now, those rights that I read to you before, sir, also apply to these cases, and I will be appointing Adam Waters to represent you in all 3 of these matters.
He was already representing me and those were dismissed.
Well, sir, the paperwork I have in front of me indicates that warrants were issued for your arrest in August of 2024. Actually, all 3 warrants were issued on August 27th, 2024. So any questions?
I was in jail. I was in jail here in August.
I am not finished. I'll give you a chance to speak in a moment. My recommendation to you is that you will need to talk to Mr. Waters to see if there's an issue that needs to be cleared up with the court. That's not something I can handle today. Now, I am going to order that you be held on a $150 cash bond in all 3 matters. Cash or secured, rather. You are not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, possess no firearms or weapons. And I'm issuing the bond, sir, so that you earn some credit if in case that's relevant to your cases, and since you're being held on the other matters. You are not to have any contact with any alleged victims or any of their residences or workplaces. Your next court date for all 3 of these cases is going to be February the 24th, 2025 at 1:00 in the afternoon. That will be at Justice Court with Judge Pesqueta. If you're still in custody, then the jail will take care of making sure you can make those hearings.
Is that it?
1 second, sir. I'm finishing up your paperwork. Thank you. And sir, the bonds in your Justice Court cases, those will be concurrent, if I did not mention it before. All right, sir, that's all for this morning. You're excused. Hello, can I get your name?
Manuel Del Rio.
All right, sir, we're seeing you this morning for an initial appearance on some new felony charges. You've been charged with transportation of a narcotic drug, possession of drug paraphernalia, and weapons misconduct, specifically being a prohibited possessor and possessing a firearm during a felony drug offense. Sir, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. I've read and considered everything that was presented to me. I see that the state is asking for a $30,000 cash-only bond with pretrial services. Mr. Goodman, did you wish to be heard any further?
Your Honor, I would just note the statute cited was correct, but the descriptor was wrong given that methamphetamine is involved. So there's no issues as far as the statute, he was booked under. But the state has some concerns given his criminal history. He does have an ability to pay. He is full-time employed. in this case does involve a significant quantity of methamphetamine, being 1 pound in one bag, 118 grams in another, along with a firearm. And I would note sometime back in his criminal history, he's engaged in similar conduct as well. So the state feels, given the history and his ability to pay, a $30,000 cash-only bond with pretrial services is appropriate.
Ms. Rubin, did you wish to be heard?
Judge, we asked that you set a secure bond. It does appear he's working and has ties to the community.
All right, sir, I'm going to order that you be held on a $20,000 cash or secured bond. You will be monitored by pretrial services, and you'll have to comply with any treatment or other directives they give you. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, possess no firearms or weapons. You're not to return to the alleged incident location. Your next court date will be a preliminary hearing on March the 4th at 1:30 in the afternoon. Sir, if you bond out of custody, you need to make sure you make that court appearance or a warrant will issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Do I have to get some balls?
That's all for this morning, sir. You're excused.
I don't know what I mean.
Here, I'll have you.
Fusco? Are you Fusco? John? Oh, no. There was nobody in front of me. You're a Fusco, John?
Fusco John.
Nobody years.
Hello, can I get your name?
John Fusco?
All right, sir, we're seeing you this morning on a couple of different matters. It looks like you have a warrant that was issued in South Tucson Municipal Court for a misdemeanor count of shoplifting. That warrant issued back in 2024, so we'll talk about that in a minute. You also are here on some new felony charges where you've been charged with shoplifting, criminal trespass in the 3rd degree, possession of a narcotic drug, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Now, sir, you do have we'll start with the felony case. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. I've read the interim complaint, the pretrial services workup, as well as the state's recommendation. They are asking for a $5,000 bond with pretrial services. Mr. Goodman, did you wish to be heard any further?
I would just note his criminal history involving similar conduct, and he is maxed out on both scales, Judge.
Ms. Rubin, did you wish to be heard?
Yes, it appears he's unemployed, so I'd ask that you set a lower bond in this case.
All right, sir, I am going to order that you be held on a $5,000 cash or secured bond. You will be supervised by pretrial services if you post that, and you'll need to comply with any monitoring or treatment directions they give you. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, possess no firearms or weapons, not to have any contact with the victim business. You're also not to return to either the incident location or any Walmarts here in Tucson. Your next court date will be a preliminary hearing, and that will be on March the 4th, 2025 at 1:30 in the afternoon. If you bond out of custody on this case, you need to make sure you make that court appearance or a warrant will issue for your arrest. Now, in your South Tucson matter, I'm going to appoint Michael Vaughn to represent you. Okay. So, sir, the attorney is going to be Michael Vaughn. I was just verifying that I have his contact information. His information will be on your paperwork. Your next court date in that case is going to be February the 24th at 10 o'clock in the morning. I am going to order that you be held on the $250 bond listed in the warrant. That will be cash or secured. As conditions of your release in that case, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to have any contact with the illicit victim or the incident location. And as I mentioned with your felony case, if you fail to make that court date and you've bonded out of custody, then a warrant will issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Gotcha.
That's all for this morning, sir. You're excused.
Buddha,
Good morning. Can I get your name?
Alexandra Labuda.
All right, ma'am, we're seeing you this morning for new felony charges. You've been charged with possession of a narcotic drug for sale. Now, ma'am, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the legal advocate's office to represent you in this case. Now, I've read the pretrial services workup, the interim complaint, as well as the state's recommendation. Counsel, I'm inclined to release her to pretrial services with standard conditions. Did either side wish to be heard any further?
No, Your Honor.
So, ma'am, I am going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services. You will need to comply with any directions they give you in terms of monitoring or treatment. You are not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to possess any firearms or weapons. Your next court date is going to be a preliminary hearing on March the 14th, 2025 at 1:30 in the afternoon. Now, you need to make sure you stay in contact with pretrial services and with your attorney, because if you fail to appear in court, then a warrant will issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
I do. Just have a question.
Go ahead.
If
You might want to, Miss Rubin works with one of the defense agencies in town, so ask her first.
I've seen a specific lawyer, please have to get in contact with the lawyer. Just a
Okay, you're excused. Thank you.
Electronically, why am I seeing a judge? Have I been arrested? No, I wasn't Mirandized. Look, we can do this all fucking day.
Who's this?
I'm thinking we might need to go past to tonight.
Yes. Seriously.
So, Jail, you guys have eyes on the situation. I obviously don't. Better to go to the end of the calendar or just bump tonight because she's being uncooperative and refusing.
Your Honor, both tonight, she's trying to block it.
She's refusing court right now.
All right, so I will go ahead and bump her to this evening's session.
There.
Hello, sir. Give me 1 second to finish the paperwork up for the individual before you. I'll be right with you.
No worries.
All right, sir, can I get your name, please?
Eric Lugo.
All right, sir, we're seeing you for an initial appearance this morning on some new felony charges relating to aggravated driving under the influence. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. Now, I've read the pretrial services workup, the interim complaint, as well as The state's recommendation, I see that the state is asking for a $10,000 bond with pretrial services. Mr. Goodman, did you wish to be heard any further?
Your Honor, he's on felony probation for what appears to be a violent DV case. I know the report doesn't state there's a probation hold, but that procedure has changed, which requires the POs to actually go physically down to the jail, if I'm not mistaken, to actually place the hold. So I don't know if they're on the way. If not, but given the history and the probation status, the state's requesting that bond.
Ms. Rubin, did you wish to be heard?
Judge, it appears he's employed, full-time, lifelong resident. Again, generally, we don't get probation holds on the weekend, no matter what the procedure is, but they'll probably file something.
All right, sir, I am going to order that you be held on a $10,000 bond, cash or secured. You will be supervised by pretrial services if you post that, and you'll need to comply with any directives they give you in terms of monitoring or treatment. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, possess no firearms or weapons. Your next court date will be a preliminary hearing, and that will be on March the 4th, 2025 at 1:30 in the afternoon. Now, sir, if you bond out of custody, you need to make sure that you make that court appearance or a warrant will issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, that's all for this morning, sir. You're excused.
Probation's probably going to file something because they're going to charge you. Did you know you have a warrant? You said?
Yeah, I was.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so you're my son. Right, but that's the
Judge, did we skip over Victor Lopez, or did he already get continued for some reason?
Oh, he got continued. He was uncooperative.
Okay, so both Lopez's were uncooperative and got continued.
Correct.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Hello, sir. Can I get your name?
Mr. Friedel?
All right, sir. We're seeing you this morning on a couple of different cases. You are here for a fugitive warrant that was issued in. Give me one moment.
Texas.
That is correct. Just trying to pull up your pretrial services report here real quick. You also have some new felony charges here locally, where you've been charged with, possession of a dangerous drug for sale, possession of a narcotic drug for sale, and possession of drug paraphernalia. So, sir, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. We're going to start with the new charges first, and in that case, I'm going to appoint the legal defender's office to represent you. Now, I've read the pretrial services workup as well as the state's recommendation and the interim complaint. I see that the state is asking for a $10,000 bond with pretrial services in the new case. Mr. Goodman, did you wish to be heard?
Nothing to add to the new case, given that the fugitive matter is post-adjudication supervision. He has to be held without bond on that matter, Judge.
Yep.
All right, sir. Oh, sorry, Ms. Rubin, did you wish to be heard?
He will be, since he's going to be held without bond, we're asking for a bond to be set so he gets started.
All right, sir, I'm going to order that you be held on a $7,500 cash or secured bond. In this case, you will be supervised by pretrial services if you post that, and you're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs or firearms or weapons.
Yes, ma'am.
Next court date on this new case will be a preliminary hearing on March the 4th, 2025 at 1:30 in the afternoon.
And West Texas going to begin.
You'll have a hearing, this week.
All right, so in your Texas matter, I'm going to appoint the legal defender's office to represent you there as well. I am going to order that you be held without bond pursuant to 133856. I'm going to set a no bond hearing for February 27th, 2025 at 2:30 in the afternoon. And that will be the same time as your fugitive warrant hearing.
I don't think he needs a no bond hearing because he's just being held without bond on the fugitive warrant. So he'll have a fugitive warrant hearing. He got a bond on his new case. So I don't see that he needs a no bond.
Yeah, that would be correct, Judge. For the fugitive matter, it would just be hold without bond with a fugitive review hearing.
Okay, let me check with the clerk real quick because I think that I'm picking the wrong option here in our software.
Let's have a fugitive hearing and he'll the same lawyer, but the new case, the fugitive case. So, okay. Okay, so, huh?
There's a chance to understand.
All right.
You'll switch a lawyer.
Your fugitive warrant hearing will be that 2/27 date at 2:30. You will get paperwork from us with all of the information, but it will be the legal defender's office that represents you in both matters.
Okay.
All right, sir, that's all for this morning. You're excused.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
So if I messed it up. Hello, can I get your name?
Yeah, Rios. Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. So, sir, we're seeing you this morning for an initial appearance on some new felony charges involving allegations of possession of a narcotic drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. Now, the information I have from the county attorney's office is that they're moving to dismiss this case without prejudice. Is that still the case, Mr. Goodman?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, I'm assuming no objection?
Objection.
So, sir, I am going to dismiss this case without prejudice. It doesn't mean it's necessarily going away. The state still has an option to refile it in the future if they choose to do so. But I am going to order that this case be dismissed and that you be released as to these charges. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that's all for this morning, sir. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hello, can I get your name?
Leslie Sims.
All right, ma'am, we're seeing you this morning because you have a warrant out of Santa Cruz County for a vehicle theft charge. It looks like it is a felony offense. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Give me one moment to just look over the warrant paperwork. All right, ma'am, in this matter, I am going to order that you be held on a $1,500 cash or secured bond.
Judge, may I be heard?
You may.
She's got no prior felonies, and this case was dismissed and refiled. Apparently, she was not aware it was refiled, and because she probably didn't know that there was a case, and there's no evidence that she was actually received notification about the case, so I'd ask that she released and, contact the other county, Santa Cruz County, about her case and set up a court hearing.
So ma'am, according to pretrial services, it looks like you're currently living on East Desert Wash Court.
Yes.
Okay, and what is that current address?
It's my, what was it?
You know the address?
Oh yeah, 3769 East Desert Wash Court.
All right, I am going to vacate my earlier order on further consideration. Ma'am, I am going to release you to pretrial services. You'll have to comply with any monitoring or treatment they give you. I am going to set a review hearing on March 25th, 2025. That will be at Pima County Justice Court, and that will be basically so we can see what's going on with the matter in Santa Cruz County. You're going to need to get in touch with Santa Cruz County and go ahead and get this matter resolved.
We contact them and set up a court hearing, so that case rolling, and thank you. Then they'll just, it's the same one saying that you've done. Okay.
All right, ma'am. So spoken with the clerk just in terms of logistics. Since we're releasing you, we're not going to have the review hearing here, but you need to get down to Santa Cruz County. You need to call them. You need to get this matter handled sooner rather than later because another warrant's just going to issue. Do you understand that?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that's all for this morning, ma'am. You're excused.
Thank you.
Take care of that.
Thank you.
Ned?
I took off the... Hello, can I get your name, please?
Adrian Kareem Smith.
All right, sir, we're seeing you this morning on some new felony charges involving allegations of domestic violence, aggravated assault. Now, sir, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. Give me one moment. I want to take a look here at your pretrial services report, and I was also just provided a copy of the Form 4C that I want to look over real quick. All right, sir, so I have read the interim complaint as well as the pretrial services workup, the state's recommendation, and I have just reviewed that Form 4C. The state is asking for a $50,000 bond. Mr. Goodman, did you wish to be heard any further?
Your Honor, I recognize the violent prior is somewhat old. What's of more concern, the pretrial report just labels the victim as a roommate, but as the court saw in the interim, they were in a previous relationship. The victim reported this has happened before, and the Form 4C indicates high risk.
What's up, Master?
Can you just give me a minute? Judge, can you give me a minute?
Sure.
Okay.
We made up. That assault was old.
Okay.
It's like 4 months old.
Well,
I have no
he
idea.
has-
I
he
have
has-
no idea why I got arrested.
Sir, I'm
Yes.
going to ask you to be
So
silent for just a moment so I can hear your attorney.
He, has somewhere he can stay where she doesn't live. The other case is very old. So we ask that you consider those factors. He's disabled.
All right, sir, I'm going to order that you be held on a $20,000 cash or secured bond. This is based on the interim complaint as well as the Form 4C. I am going to order further that you be supervised by pretrial services, and then you will have to comply with any monitoring or treatment directions they give you. You are not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, commit no acts of domestic violence, and possess no firearms or weapons. You're not to have any contact whatsoever with Rhonda Bolden, and no contact means exactly that, no contact in any way, shape, or form. If you can think of it, it's contact, don't do it. You also are not to have any contact with her residence or her workplace. Your next court date will be a preliminary hearing, and that will be on March 4th, 2025 at 1:30 in the afternoon. If you bond out of custody between now and then, you need to make sure that you stay in contact with your attorney and pretrial services, because if you fail to show, then a warrant will issue for your arrest. Do you understand? That's all for this morning. You're excused.
Not your lawyer, but it's okay.
Okay, so no, I'm staying.
Unless you post it by.
Well, I'm on Social Security.
Okay, so.
So how am I gonna get 20? I'm on Social Security and I'm disabled.
Okay, so you'll talk to your lawyer.
I've been disabled for like the last 15 years.
Can you put us on mute till the next one, please? Hello, sir. Can I get your name, please? Sorry, we might still be on mute now. Try again.
Daniel Tadeo.
All right, so we're seeing you this morning because you have some new felony charges pending involving allegations of domestic violence stalking. Now, sir, you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you in this case. Now, I have read everything that was presented to me, including the interim complaint, the pretrial services workup, and I see that the state is asking for a $50,000 bond with pretrial services. Mr. Goodman, did you wish to be heard any further?
Your Honor, I would just note the extent he went and sought the victim, manipulated her vehicle, basically went everywhere she was trying to get away from him, was tracking her. This is very, concerning conduct. And I would just note law enforcement's input on the very bottom of, page 2, as far as what the victim's input is of, being fearful and now having to seek shelter at an unknown location. So we feel that a high bond is warranted in light of the allegations, the ICE hold, and their input as well.
Ms. Rubin, did you wish to be heard?
Judge, there is an ICE hold, so he, we'd ask to set a bond so he can consult with his lawyer about how to proceed.
All right, sir, I am going to order that you be held on a $50,000 cash or secured bond. I do see the ICE hold on my end as well. You will be supervised by pretrial services if you post that, and you'll need to comply with any monitoring or treatment directives they give you. You're not to commit any acts of domestic violence. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, and possess no firearms or weapons. Most importantly, sir, you are to have absolutely zero contact with Lori and Vic. Do you understand that? And that starts now. You may get access to a phone or a tablet while you're in jail. My order starts right now. No contact, no telephonic contact, no contact through a third party, nothing over social media, no apps, nothing. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
You're also not to have any contact with her residence or her workplace. Your next court date is a preliminary hearing, and that is on March the 4th, 2025 at 1:30 in the afternoon. If you bond out of custody, you need to make sure that you make that court date or a warrant will issue for your arrest. That's all for this morning. You're excused.
Thank you.
If you were to post bond, ICE will take you into their custody. start deportation proceedings. So I would say don't post the bond until you talk to your lawyer, okay? Okay, sure. Valencia?
Hello, sir. Can I get your name?
Yes, ma'am. It's Jonathan Valencia.
All right, sir. We're seeing you this morning on some new felony charges of criminal damage. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you.
Criminal damage.
Now, I've read the the interim complaint, the pretrial services workup, and the state's recommendation. I'm inclined to impose pretrial services with standard conditions. Did either side wish to be heard?
No.
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, I am going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services. You will need to comply with any monitoring or treatment directives they give you. You are not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. You are not to drive without a valid license, and you're not to possess any firearms or weapons. I'm also going to order that you not have any contact with the alleged victim or the incident location. Your next court date will be a preliminary hearing on March the 14th, 2025 at 1:30 in the afternoon. If you fail to make that court appearance, sir, a warrant could issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that's all for this morning, sir. You're excused.
Baron?
Hello, sir. Can I get your name?
Tobias Ramon.
All right, sir, we are seeing you on a couple of different matters. You've got a case pending in Tucson City Court. You have another case in Marana Municipal Court, and you're here for some new felony charges involving allegations of possession of a dangerous drug. Now, sir, we're going to start with the felony case first. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney, and I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you. Now, I have read the pretrial services report, the interim complaint, as well as the state's recommendation. I know that the state is asking for pretrial services release. However, based on my review of the matters in Marana and Tucson City Court, my inclination was to impose a bond in those other cases. So if that changes your position at all, Mr. Goodman?
Your Honor, I would be fine if you were going to hold them by placing $100 cash or secured bond for time credit, setting a steps hearing, and a standard 10-day PH versus the extended one.
Ms. Rubin, did you wish to be heard?
No objection to that.
All right, sir. So before we talk about your release conditions and your next court dates, what the parties are telling me is that you might qualify for a specialty court program that's run by Pima County Superior Court. It works closely with individuals who have addiction issues. Now, if you qualify and if it's a program that you complete, it's something that could have some sort of benefit for your current legal situation. However, you won't know if you qualify. You won't even know if it's something that you're interested in until you attend what's called a steps or a smart court hearing. Does this sound like something you'd be interested in at least looking into? All right, so I am going to set a steps hearing on March the 3rd, 2025 at 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to order that you be held on $1,000 cash or secured bond. You will be supervised by pretrial services if you post that. You'll need to.
Judge, can you make that $100?
I understand the arguments from both parties. My order stands. It's going to be the $1,000 cash or secured. I have 3 open cases with warrants in 3 different courthouses. So, sir, as I was saying, you will be supervised by pretrial services. Once you post that, you will have to comply with any monitoring or treatment directives that they issue. You are not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, possess no firearms or weapons. Now, that smart court hearing date is that March 3rd date, but you're also going to have a preliminary hearing, and that will be set March 4th at 1:30 in the afternoon. Now, in your Marana case, in that one, you were charged with driving on a suspended license and failure to appear. Looks like a warrant was issued back in June of 2023. I am going to order that you be held in that case on a $250 cash or secured bond. I am going to appoint Janet Altschuler to represent you. In that case, you are not to drive without a valid license. And your next court date will be February the 24th, 2025 at 12 o'clock p.m. And that will be in Marana City Court. Now, in your Tucson City Court matter, in that case, you were charged with theft by control, and it looks like there was also a failure to appear. There was a warrant that was issued back in March of last year. In that case, sir, I am going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you. Now, in addition to the rights I mentioned before, you do have the right to be present for any and all court proceedings. However, if you fail to come to court, then a warrant will issue for your arrest, and those hearings can go forward without you. If you are convicted and you cannot be sentenced within 90 days because of your failure to appear, you could also lose your right to a direct appeal. And on this case, I am going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you. I'm going to order that you be held on the $250 bond, cash or secured bond that is listed in the court's documents. You are not to have any contact with any alleged victims, and you're not to have any contact with any of the alleged incident locations. It does not look like you've been arraigned on this charge yet, sir, so I'm also going to enter not guilties on your behalf. Your next court date is you're going to have a video review hearing on March the 4th, 2025 at 1:45 in the afternoon. That will be a video hearing. If you're in the jail will take care of making sure you are brought to court. If you bond out of custody, your next court date is going to be March 24th, 2025 at 9:30 in the morning. Do you have any questions, sir? All right, sir, that's all for this morning. You're excused.
So, we're gonna bring this to
Counsel, everyone, I think that's the end of our calendar unless somebody sees something I don't.